What up, everybody? What up, everybody? Let me get to the spot. Let me get to the spot. Hey, everyone. What is going on? This is Plan Your Greatness, and I am your gracious host, Carlton Hamilton. And let's get started today. Today is Thoughtful Thursday. Yes, it is. And I have a question for you. Are you asking for exactly what you want? We're going to discuss that here on Thoughtful Thursdays on the Plan Your Greatness channel. One, two, three into the four. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre. Hey, we are back. We are back. We are back. This is Thoughtful Thursdays on the Plan Your Greatness channel. All right. The question I asked before the break was, are you asking for exactly what you want? And the reason why I asked that question is that I know in my life, when I asked for exactly what I want, amazing, these things came to fruition. When I didn't ask for what I want, my goodness gracious, I have some old videos telling you exactly where my life went because of that. But let's go back for a second. I want to share something with you that talks specifically about asking for exactly what you want. All right, I'm in high school, my junior year in high school, and this is in Olympia Fields, Illinois. This is right in the south of the city of Chicago. And at that particular time in the 80s, when I was in school, you had PE. It's not like it was today where you can opt out of it. I remember I was absolutely just floored when my daughter was putting her schedule together, and she told me that PE was an option. Now that's a whole nother discussion, but the fact of the matter is you took PE, but the second semester of your junior year, you took health. So this was all classroom, no going to the gym. And man, I was just such a sports geek that I would have enjoyed playing golf or volleyball or whatever it was, something that would have had me moving around physically other than just sitting in the classroom. But on this particular day, I come in, I sit at my desk, and one of my classmates, Mitchell, comes in. Mitchell sits down to my right with this dejected look on his face. And Mitchell was known to be one of the smartest kids in our school. And so I looked over at Mitchell and I was like, hey, what's up, man? What's going on? You know, he played baseball on the baseball team our freshman year. So I knew him. So I was like, hey, Mitchell, what's going on? What's going on with you? And Mitchell looked at me and was like, man, I just took the ACT test and I got a 33. Well, if you all know that, if you're familiar with that test, because nowadays kids typically take the SAT. But if you know what the maximum score on the ACT, it is a 36. And this fool got a 33 on the test. And so I'm looking, and I showed you in one of my videos before, I took that very same test and I got an 11. That just shows you where I was academically. I got an 11. This fool gets a 33. And so I look at him like, okay, what's the complaint? And he goes, you know what? I'm going to retake that test because I want to get a perfect score, because I want to be able to go to any school I want to in the country, because I want to be a doctor. And I, just looked at him, and in the back of my mind, I was like, no doubt, you're Mitchell. You're one of the smartest dudes in our school. You being a doctor, I don't doubt it for 1 second. But in my young, brash arrogance, I turned and looked him right in the eyes, and Mitchell was looking right at me, right in the eyes. And I said, well, I'm going to be a professional baseball player. True story. Okay, that's our junior year. So we go on with the rest of our junior year. Between my junior and senior year combined, I had a phenomenal baseball, setting school records and everything. So I get drafted, but I don't sign. I end up going to college. I get drafted again. And at that point, I start playing professional baseball. rocketing through the Chicago Cubs organization, #1 pick. I mean, I'm all over the newspaper, TV stations, and all this other stuff, and I'm one of the top prospects in the organization. I'm working out with the major league team, and then bam, I get injured. And this is approximately about 6 years later. Okay. And now I'm sitting in downtown Chicago at Northwestern Memorial Hospital. I'm sitting on a gurney, and all I have is this thin pre-surgery gown. And the chief surgeon is explaining the surgery to all these interns. And I could hear it in every language that I can imagine: Spanish, Italian, Arabic, Chinese, whatever it was. I hear them speaking their German, they're speaking their language on these little microphones. This was way before the cell phones, and so they didn't have the app on there. They had these little recorders. And so I'm feeling just thinking, what is going on with my life and my career, my arm? This is actually the second surgery on my arm in the span of about 5 months. So my mind is racing all over the place. And then I put my head in my hands like this. And I take a big breath and I look over to my right. And who do I see? I see Mitch. And the first words out of my mouth is, Mitch? And the first words out of his mouth were, so you're a professional baseball player. And then I responded, so you're a doctor. And so the chief surgeon was like, oh, wow, you guys know each other? I said, yeah, we were in high school together. And so I said, hey, good luck in med school. He wished me good luck in my surgery. Now, here's what's powerful about that story. If you're following what the theme of this video is, asking for exactly what you want. Now, let's think of it in terms of let's put it in context of where Mitch came from, where I came from. I got bussed out of a blue-collar neighborhood into a very affluent, predominantly white high school. This is where Mitch was already a student. And so Mitchell, white Jewish kid living in Olympia Fields, Matson, Country Club Hills, Homewood Flossmoor, that whole area was very, very affluent at the time. And so here's the deal. More than likely, Mitch probably had mom or dad, aunt or uncle, grandparents, somebody who had a visual, physical example of some success that he could see, or he wouldn't have been living in that area and going to that school. Now, if you look at my situation, I come from a very working class, blue collar. There were no professionals. There were no business owners. There were no professional athletes. There was nothing that I could look at to say, I'm using that as a model of excellence, other than the fact that in my mind, I had this blank slate and I was going to write on it and just say, I want to be a professional baseball player. I don't know how you go about doing it, but I'm going to do it. So the understanding is that Mitch and I removed ourselves from the place of actually just being what I call tools. We actually stated exactly what we wanted. We knew why we wanted it. We knew what we wanted. We had an image in our mind. We created the skills and the work ethic to go right after. Because again, Mitchell is coming from this very affluent area. I am coming from this very blue collar area. And what I'm getting at, and by saying this to you, is that we stated exactly what we wanted. We were not just wandering through life, which is what I had been doing after my days of playing professional baseball. And I know a lot of people are doing that are watching this video. You are wandering through life and you become a tool. And think of this tool in the metaphorical sense of that this tool is alive, but it's a tool and it has no idea what skill it has. But you know who does know what your skills are? Everybody else. So then they reach into this toolbox, they grab you out, they use you for what they need to get used, and they throw you right back in the box. And now you, not knowing what your skill set is, you're like, damn, what you grab me for? And then they're looking at you like, duh, I see what you can do, but I'm using you for what I need to do to move myself forward. So that is what I want I want you to understand that part. If you are not asking for exactly what you want, you are only going to get the scraps of what everyone else that knows exactly what they're doing. They're going to utilize you for what they need. And I've also heard other people talk in terms of this. They've said, well, I'm just going with the flow, going with the universe. The universe is going to move me and tell me exactly where to go. Now, a part of that, I believe that's a half a truth. Because I believe that if you know exactly what it is that you want, you are then be able to move very solidly down that path. And so then now you can say, universe, God, whatever power you believe in, you can say at that moment, you can say, look, I know exactly where I'm going. And I'm open to everything that you're going to bring in my path. Because I know everything, either it's going to make me stronger or it's going to be something that I can utilize on the path. So to me, that is going with the flow. Just understanding you're on a path, but whatever comes, you're saying, I know that I can use this. I can use this for either mental strength, or I can use this for mentally or physically gaining another skill on my path of where I'm going. But you can't do that if you do not know why you're doing something. You do not have a plan, and you do not take action. You have to do the reverse of that. You have to know what your why is. You have to know what you're planning, and then you have to take action. And when you do that, you are absolutely 100% planning your greatness. All right. So hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. You can also join me on Instagram, on the Plan Your Greatness Instagram channel. You can join me on my general Facebook page. I usually have some insight on that. There's also a Facebook page that is Plan Your Greatness. I do update a little bit on that, but I do more activity on YouTube and on Instagram. All right. Now, here's your call to action. Your call to action is think about this a little bit and come up with something that you want specific. Name something that you want exactly. Start asking for it every day. Exactly what it is. State what it is. Exactly what it is, what you want to do. And when you do that, again, it's going to be putting you on that path of planning your greatness. All right. So let me leave you guys with this, as I do every week. Plan your greatness. You know why? Yep. He's going to take us home. Plan your greatness. You know why? Because no one else will. I will see you all next Thursday, Thoughtful Thursday, on the Plan Your Greatness channel. You guys take care.
No one knew he was home.